Okay, Shalom Lakam, Yasharallah, Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Alahaynawa, Yahweh Akkad, Wa'habda At Yahweh Alahayaka, Bakal Lababka, Wabakal Napashka, Wabakal Ma'adka. Hail Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Okay, so we're continuing with the first parasha, or the first portion of the Torah, which is the commandments of Yahweh given to us, which are the books of Genesis through Deuteronomy. Okay, Genesis through Deuteronomy. And we're in the first parasha, which is Bereshit, which is also called Baraahshyath in the original ancient Hebrew pronunciation, using only the two vowels that we have in Hebrew, which is the alap and the iyan or ayan, transliterated as a and I. So we have only 4 verses from Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 through 22. And it deals in, we're going to call this the Rat Pack. Hey, Shalom Lakar Regalia Dawada. We're going to call this the Rat Pack. And the reason we call it the Rat Pack is because it deals with the children of Cain. Okay, but there's good information in here as it pertains to life, the culture of Israel, that we see our ancestors observing also. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get started. It says, now remember, the way I'm doing this right now is that I'm just looking at the Hebrew and then the interpretation, the translation of those words. That's it. Then we're going to get to understand it that way. So it says, and took for himself Lamech 2 wives. The name of one, Ada, and the name of the second, Zillah. Okay? So let's go right here. Let's break this down now. What does this verse mean? It says, and took Wayakwak. Now, when we see the word take, and as it pertains to the woman, the first time we saw this was when we were in Genesis chapter 2, verses 21 through 23. Okay? When the Most High, Yahweh, took the woman, he took one of Adam's ribs. Okay? And then he brought the woman to the man. And Adam said, this is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. All right, so let's break that down. Because remember, everything, what we're doing, we're building a foundation. The whole law, the whole way that things are supposed to be done is given to us from Genesis. The whole paradigm and the balance of everything is in Genesis. If you don't understand Genesis, you won't understand the rest of the Bible. If you jump into Ezekiel, you're jumping into John 3:16, you're jumping into John 5:17 through 19, you jumped into Matthew 15:24, Matthew 5:17 through 19. If you're trying to jump all around the Bible, you don't understand the Torah, Genesis, then your doctrine is guaranteed to be questionable, if not off. Because you're conforming your doctrine to what you've been taught, what you think, or what you believe, as opposed to conforming your doctrine to what Yahweh shows us from the beginning, from Genesis. Okay, so let's break this down. And took. Okay, so Lamech took for himself. So when he took this woman, these women, that woman that he's taking, the women that he's taking, from the word yakwak, that's the same thing that the Most High did for Adam's rib. So this woman, when he takes her, she belongs to him. She is his rib. She belongs to him, nobody else. She don't answer to nobody else. She belongs to him. Okay? He ain't got to go through no elder. All right, he ain't got to go through no elder. He ain't got to go through no pastor. If she's a virgin, if she's a young woman or whatever, he got to go through the father. But if she's out there on her own, she ain't under her father, okay, she's been let loose or whatever, he goes through her, that's it. But nonetheless, he took this woman, okay? So he said, I see this woman and I want her, it says, lawa, to himself. Wayakwak lawa, and he took to him. The him referring to Lamak, okay? So the him referring to Lamak, okay? So it says, and took for himself Lamak. So that woman has to fit within the same protocols, the same standards as when the Most High gave the woman to Adam. She got it. She's there to help this man. She's there to stand in front of him, as it says. It says Izad Nada. So she's there to stand in front of him to help him with whatever he needs help with. So he took for himself. So the woman he's taking is for himself. So no other man can deal with this woman besides who? Lamak. Besides the man that's doing the taking right here. Okay? He's taking her. Wayakwak. Okay? Lawa. He take to him. All right? So Lamech is taking this woman to him. Now look at Lamech's name right here. Let's break this down. Lamak. Okay? They say that this word Lamak, they say that this word means powerful. Okay? They say it means powerful. Jury's still out on that. Okay? But they say the word means they say it means powerful. Okay, so Lamech took this woman. Okay, and like I said, they say historically that it does mean powerful. So Lamech, okay, which is this, so powerful, and took right for himself powerful, or Lamach. So Lamech took these women. So now these women have to serve him the same way as Eve was meant to serve Adam. So that's what we see about marriage. So the man took these women. All right. So he saw the woman, said, you mine now. He took them for himself. Lawa. Lamech. Lamech took these women. So what women? And took for Lamech 2. Okay. Shatya. 2 Nashiam. So he took 2 wives, 2 women. So the powerful took 2 women. So this man that had power, or his name is power, actually, Lamech. You see Lamech right here means powerful. Okay? Lamech means powerful. So powerful took 2 wives. Why did he take 2 wives? He took 2 wives to serve his purposes, to help him. That's why he got 2 wives. They're there to help him, whatever, if his needs, if they want him to, if he wants them to help with the cooking, with the cleaning, with hunting, with bringing forth his children, with sex, with sewing, with running his businesses. He wants them to help with his managing anything he needs to manage. That's why he's taking 2. Okay? The name of one was Ada. So we got a problem, not a problem, but we got something right here, because Ada, the woman that he took as his wife, means ornament. But Ada was also the wife of Esau. So he took a woman, Ada. This same name is the wife of Esau, Generations later, Esau took a woman and her name was Ada. It's a different woman, but they got the same name. Okay? And the name of the second was Zillah. So he took a second wife, and her name was Zillah. So, we can see that Lamech, he took two women. We have no, condemnation for what he did. Don't say he did nothing wrong. Okay? Don't say he did nothing wrong. Now, this woman, now the Most High, man, the Most High, he got a sense of humor sometimes. This woman's name right here, okay, Tazala, her name Tazal comes from the Hebrew word that means shade. So usually the second wife be trying to throw shade against the first wife. See, that Most High did that, so he letting you know from the beginning, man, from these women's names, expect to be dealing with situations of possible personality conflicts, okay? Challenging personalities when you're dealing with two women. One's name is Ornament. So she's beautiful, she's out there, people looking at her, whatever, Ornament, which is Aida, okay? And then the other one's name is Shade. Now Tazal can also mean defense. Can also mean, defense. She's supposed to be a defense against defend her husband, and also she's supposed to defend her family, which at this point is Ada. So Ada and Lamech is her family. Now she's supposed to be shading them, meaning protecting and preserving them, shading them, keeping them away from any type of potentially harmful situation. That's how we see it starting out. So that's going to be, the paradigm of what we see with marriage. That's the paradigm that we're supposed to be operating in. Okay? So Lamech took two wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the second one was Zillah or Tazal. Okay? So that's the name of his of the second wife. Okay? And now let's go into the next verse, verse 20. Okay? And bore Ada Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and raise livestock. All right. So Ada had Jabal. Okay. Jabal is like a stream of water which is flowing. So now we see, because streams of water and flowing, Jabal was on the move, because the people dwell in tents, which is a hall right here, a hall, tents, and then the livestock, okay, which is makuna, right? So livestock. So were you talking about like almost like a nomad? So they're moving through with the tents and with the cattle, and then grazing. Wherever there's good grazing ground, that's where that's where you would go if you have livestock, cattle, and then you dwell in these tents. Okay, so that's going into the Berber custom that we had. Abraham dwelt in tents, things of that nature. So he's the father of those that dwell in tents, meaning he's the first one that did this. He's the first one that said, you know what, I'm going to get my tents, and I'm going to get my livestock, and I'm going to start to move around. I'm going to start to flow like a stream. That's what his name is. All right. I'm going to start to flow like a stream. All right. So sometimes you got to venture away from where you are to do something that suits you, as long as it's righteous, as long as it's not evil. And that's what Yabal did. He went and he started to shab, dwell, relax, chill intent to raise his livestock. So he went out. Cain, remember, dwelt in the city. And remember, Abel was one that kept, or Habal, Abel was one that kept the sheep, that kept the livestock. Okay, so now he's kind of imitating on his uncle's side with these livestock, these animals. Okay, so now let's go to verse 21. Okay. Okay. And the name of his brother was Jubal or Yabal. Okay. He was the father of all who play harp and flute. So the harp is a string instrument, and the flute, of course, or the lyre, kanwar, is the flute is a wind instrument. All right. It's a wind instrument. So now this guy, he showed people how to deal with musical instruments. It was him. So the notes, playing instruments, making harps and flutes, making the sounds and making the sounds make sense. So Yahweh was the one who did that. Yahweh was the one who did that. Now these are Lamech's children. And once again, Lamech was the son of Cain. Okay, Lamech was, so we're looking at Cain's going into his family tree. Okay. So this is, well, not Cain's son, but Cain's descendant. So you have Cain, then Cain had a son named Enoch, and then Enoch had Irad. Irad had Mehujael. Mehujael had Methuselah, and then Methuselah had Lamech. So what we're reading about now is Lamech's family. Okay. This is Lamech's family. All right. His sons. So we have people in tents and cattle roaming around, tending to the animals. And of course, we have Yahweh, which is his brother, and he's dealing with devising music and instruments and things of that nature. So this is basic, things. I'm not really gonna go, too deep into, all of these things. We're gonna keep it superficial for right now. But Yahweh is the father of the people that played the harp, so string instruments. All right. Also, you have to understand that it's not really going into what's happening with Adam and Cain, Cain's brother, Adam and them. It's not really going into them. It's focusing on Lamech. So this is pretty straightforward. There's nothing real complex here to understand. Some people might say, well, yeah, you should bring out something deeper. And, sometimes, it is what it is. We ain't got to all the time try to inflate what the scriptures say. Sometimes they're telling you what it say for you to know. Now, I know when you go into the book of Enoch, it talks about different fallen angels came down and taught people to play different instruments and to do different things. That's garbage. That's BS. Men, scripture showing us who did what. Okay, so we got to go with what the scriptures are saying. Now, last verse, which is verse 22. So it says, Wa Tazala, which is Zila. Okay, now remember that means shade or defense. All right, now the shade also, she bore Tubal Cain. Okay, Tawabal. Okay, Koyan. So Tawabal Cain. All right, so Tubal Cain. Now, when you go into masonry, they use that. They actually exalt Tubal Cain in in uh, in masonry, man. They actually exalt him. Um, so Yabal means to bring forth, and then Koyan um, is is Cain. Okay, Koyan means Cain, and Cain means to acquire or to get. Okay, so so this is Tubal Cain. Now, if you're dealing with masonry, they build Tubal Cain a lot. All right, they use his name a lot in some of the high degrees of masonry. Now, they're not supposed to be doing all of that. This is a man. They exalt him. Tubal Cain. It says latash, which latash is also the Hebrew word for arrow. They say to sharpen or hammer, and they say it means spear also. But latash is a word that means arrow. I guess saying like he sharpened up every craftsman. So he was a teacher, instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal Cain was Naamah or Naima. All right, so Tubal Cain, he's the one that dealt with the bronze and the iron. No, we're dealing with bronze and irons. Now he's showing people how to make weapons. He's showing people how to make weapons. So now we have three kind of basic, where we have people that make weapons, people that's dealing with music, and we have people that's dealing with animals and livestock. So the ones that make the weapons, those are like, the warrior class. Okay. Now the ones that were dealing with the animals, those are gonna be like the agriculture class. And the ones that deal with the harp and the lyre, that's gonna be like your entertainers or diversion. So you have three kinds of the people that we see right now. All right. And of the three, we see that Cain and Abel was kind of dealing with two. Cain was dealing with agriculture with plants, and then Abel was dealing with agriculture, husbandry with animals. All right, so let's go back real quick. Let's show that. Okay, let's show that. Okay, now this guy right here, he's the father of those that dwell in tents and livestock. So now tents and livestock, we see that his focus is on agriculture. He's making a vocation out of agriculture. So he's teaching other people, hey, you can leave from this little area and you can go into these other places of pasture. So of course now he got to clear out the thorns and stuff. Now his animals can graze, or they can graze on trees and all that type of stuff, depending on what type of animal it is. So basically we have a vocation in Genesis 4:20 of the farmer. Let's say the farmer. Okay. Now in Genesis 4:21, we got the dude that's doing the harps and the flutes. So he's the entertainer. All right. So he's the slick one, witty, trying to play music. Get it, all eyes on him. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Okay, I'm playing the harp. I'm playing the flute. I can make music. So that's another vocation we see, entertainment. So we got farming, agriculture, and then we have entertainment. Now, after the entertainment, now we have another one. All right. You got this dude over here. All right. Tawabal Koyan, Tubal Cain. Now he's a what? He makes weapons. He makes iron instruments. things of iron, which the word for iron here is barzel. If you look at that word barzel, you got the B, the R, Z, and the L, or Brazil, barzal. That's how you say the word iron in Hebrew, all right? Is barzal. But the deposits of iron right now, the greatest deposits of iron that we have in the world are found in Brazil. In Brazil. So we're gonna put that out there real quick. Now for bronze right here, all right, nakshath, that's actually going into, you need copper. All right, you need copper to make bronze. That's the main ingredient in bronze. So you got copper and iron. All right, two metals, both of which are found in Brazil. So this guy, like I say, he's the one that is fashioning weapons and other metal instruments. All right, for cutting, knives, swords, hooks. Okay, hooks to use to turn the soil over, nails, things of that nature. Right, so he's representing also the working iron, blacksmith. So you got these three different classes of people that we see in these three different classes of people that we see, you know, just from Genesis just from Genesis 4. So 19. You know, and also you got the playboy right here too. You know, because he got two wives now, because he's powerful. So his game is tight. He can talk to the ladies. The ladies like him. And he's fifth down from Cain. I mean, he's fifth down from he's fifth down the fifth lineal descendant of Cain. All right, so his name is Lamech. So he take himself two women. Okay, Ada and Zillah. So he's all about family. He wants to reproduce, because that's where the power is at. The power is in your family. That's what his name means, is powerful. The power is in your family, not in your friends. But a lot of people put more attention into their friends than they do their family. But the power is in your family. The power of your family is from your wives. Your wives. And then your wives bring forth children for you. So that's what makes your family even stronger, because everybody in your family is going to have knowledge that you have. And then they're going to take that knowledge that you have and become great also. So his wives, he had two, was Ada and Zillah, okay, which means ornament and shade, all right? You know, one is to shine and one is to hide, all right? One is to cause attention, one is to protect. So here we see these two women, you got to have a balance. A balance. Everything is, you know, is a contrast, and there's a balance, there's a duality within that relationship, all right? So then, of course, we see that the farmer, okay, with the tools of the trade, the tent, and the livestock, he's grazing, he's roaming around. He's a nomad, kind of like a nomad, all right? And then from that, we see the musician. The first time the man is the father. He's the first one to really show people how to play instruments. All right, and his name is Yahweh. Okay, Yahweh. So that's another kind of man, another kind of personality type. Then the third personality type we see, which is the third person, is the one that can make the Zion, the one that can make the weapons. You know, he can make you any type of craftsman, metal craftsman, dealing with bronze and then dealing with iron. So anything made out of iron and bronze, all right, he's the father of those people that first started to make these types of of tools and instruments, okay? So now, of course, like I said, it's only 4 verses. I tried to stretch it out as much as I could, Yashadallah, but that's all. That's all I got from these 4 verses. I don't want to go on no rants. So, of course, now we see that it's righteous from the beginning of creation for a man to have 2 wives. There was no problem. There was no discrepancy. The man took 2 wives, and that's his business. Okay, he took 2 wives. All right, and both of them had children with him. So that's his that's his prerogative. If that's what he wants to do, he could do it. Can't condemn the man or against him because he want to have 2 wives. All right. Some brothers just got that desire, and of course the woman was made to help the man. So these 2 women are gonna be helping him in everything he has to do. So that's pretty much all we have right now, Yashadallah. Tomorrow is going to be we're going to do the 6-day portion, which is going to be Genesis chapter 4, verse 24 through 4:23 to 5 to 6:24. Let me go ahead and post it for you right here. What do you get? Tomorrow, the 6th portion. We're going to go into that tomorrow. So go ahead and pre-read it, review it, and try to study it. For tomorrow, when we review it. All right, so that's a few verses. We got 24, 25, 26. Then we have 24 other verses. So we have 27 verses tomorrow. So Lamech is going to start talking to his ribs. Right. And then we're going to see the first, we're going to see another killing taking place. Okay. We're going to see another killing take place at the hand of one of Cain's descendants. All right, so that's it. I want to really make sure that you all embrace the concept that you have to understand Genesis to understand the rest of the Bible, because Genesis is the beginning. Genesis is the beginning. You got to understand the beginning in order to understand what's happening subsequent. This is where the social parameters are set up. Okay, this is where the way to do things as a nation are set up. Everything is set up for right in Genesis. So Genesis 1 is of key importance. Once you understand that, then it's easier for you to understand the rest of the Bible, the rest of the Torah especially. Right, so you need to make sure you are really looking at Genesis chapter 1. All right, looking at Genesis chapter 1 and studying and reviewing it. Really going deep and just looking at the text and also using Genesis chapter 1 and seeing what's in the rest of the book. All right. Now, the scripture says that Cain was of that wicked one. So now his descendants are going to have it pretty hard, to fight against that stigma that's on their father that they inherited. Okay. So now there's wisdom in a lot of these things that we read today. Be careful with the fruit of your hands and who you give it to. We can see that from this one right here. All right. This brother was showing people how to build with bronze and iron, how to sharpen and how to use these metals. And that, of course, led people to doing all sorts of evil murders against other people, because Tubal Cain wanted to share this knowledge with everybody, or he figured something out he wanted to share with everybody. But then the people that he taught it to use it, to start taking lives. So everything can't be taught to everybody. And that's one thing with me. I don't teach everything I know to everybody. I might keep it at a basic level, and then once I know and trust you, now I can go into other scriptures and show you, like Yahweh did the same thing. Some things he only taught his disciples. He didn't teach everything to everybody. He taught the people out in the public the main thing that they needed to know and understand. And he taught his disciples things that they needed to do to strengthen their spirit, because they was already locked into him as their teacher. So he gave them more because they were dedicated to what he was saying to them. And it wasn't falling on deaf ears, and it wasn't pearls before pigs, before swine. So remember that as you're reading. All right, so that's it for this review of the Torah portion. All right, so all praise to Yahweh, Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Akkad, wa Ahabda at Yahweh Elohayaka, Bakal Lababka, wa Bakal Napashka, wa Bakal Ma'atka. Hail Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh your power with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Torah Yahweh, in the name of your son, Yahweh Shai, for giving us the ability to read your words and to gain a little bit more understanding than we had when we started. We ask Yahweh to help us and guide us and give us a better understanding, and let us be obedient to you. Give us the honor and the privilege of serving you and obeying you and loving you with all of our heart, soul, and might. This we ask and pray in the name of your son, Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Tawadatam Yad Aman. Aman. All right. So Shalom Lakum, Yasha Allah. Hallelujah.